Hi, Kelsey here from Rewilding the Womb. As we're celebrating spring equinox here in the northern hemisphere and the return of life after what feels like a super long winter, this energy of rebirth, I felt to speak to what is rewilding the womb. And this is a question that came to me from someone in the group recently. What does it mean, rewilding the womb? And I thought it was such a good question, because this word rewilding is used in a lot of different contexts now. Like rewilding in the earthy eco sense is quite common, and also rewilding as women or as men to come back to our original kind of primal natures, I guess you could call it. What I mean specifically by rewilding the womb in this context of menstrual cycle awareness is returning to the cyclical nature that is embedded deep within us, that is the wildness. It is the way that we change all the time. We're not meant to be the same. We're not meant to be uniform or stuck in one way of being, just like the seasons in the external world reflect. So this rewilding of coming back to our true home and our inner nature, it requires a lot of unwinding and deconditioning from what we've taken on as beliefs in our culture and society about how we should be. And it can be a slow and gradual process with many lightning moments of, oh, I get it now. And sometimes women who I've worked with a year ago will come back and say, oh, now I'm really getting it. Now I'm really getting what it really is to live from my own rhythms and to make my whole life on that basis. And it's radical. It's really radical. It's not something that is for the faint-hearted. It takes persistence and determination, but gentle quality with it as well. Gentle and patient with ourselves, because we're doing deep work here. And on that topic of the inner rhythms and inner seasons, I wanted to share a little bit about getting in touch with our needs in the different seasons that we have. So there's the winter season of our menstruation time, and a little bit before and after maybe. And there's spring of the pre-ovulation week, or few days. And then there's the summer, the full blossoming of our ovulation time, and then coming back down into the autumn of premenstrual week. And these 4 seasons, they basically hold us. We're held by our cycles so that we can have a container in which to discover more about ourselves and how we want to live our lives. And I was noticing recently it was my inner autumn had just begun, so I just stepped over the threshold from my summer into my autumn. And I didn't realize it at first because it was quite subtle, but then I noticed that I just needed to go for a long walk. That was what was coming up for me. Going for a long walk completely recharged me and reset me. I'd woken up feeling a bit out of sorts and kind of not finding a rhythm and a flow in my day. And as soon as I went for a long walk by myself, and a really present walk, like phone off and really connecting with the nature, sitting with nature and just kind of going into this daydreaming space of allowing in what was around me, I found contact with this deep part of myself that for me is available during my autumn, and for many women, which can be covered over by all the busyness. And I returned from that having not felt like connecting with my partner that morning at all when he'd approached me. I came back like overflowing with, I could really have a little bit of time with you now. Like, I actually want to do that. I feel resourced. And it's just been an amazing process of learning to listen to these little signals and follow them, and learning to say no. There was a big say no there, like say no to the connection in the morning and choosing instead the yes to myself, the yes for a walk, the yes for structureless, apparently aimless time in nature, but it's never really, there's so much fullness in that. So my invitation to you would be to feel into what is your need today in terms of your rewilding, your womb, of like coming back to this, because that's where our power is. The power in the womb comes from listening to these deep signals and knowing when it's time to rest and when it's time to be active. And it doesn't always make sense. Sometimes it can change from day to day. We have all kinds of rhythms going on. And what is your need today? Do you need to give yourself and wishing you so many equinox blessings, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. This is a shift and a change into a different season and into a different balance in the world and in our natural world. Sending you so much love, and thank you for watching.